All right, you see the ingredients, you see the bread machine. We are going through more of these wacky bread machine recipes. I'm going to try to use some of the new types. Like there's like little categories. For example, one of the ones we'll be going through is in the Italian. And so I just want to go through the different types. I do want to call out, I did see the comments. A lot of people were talking about how they don't make the bread in the bread machine. They actually make just the dough and then move it to the oven. The thing is I like to put everything in here and go do things and not have to worry about transferring the bread and things like that, which is why I have opted to buy this machine. If I had known it would suck, I probably would have not done that in the first place. And the second thing I want to address is a lot of people were confused as to why I was taking the paddle out mid-bread, or like why I made a big deal out of it, because it does create a huge hole in the bottom of the loaf, and a lot of times it actually splits the loaf when I'm trying to take it out, which is why I made a big deal out of it. The thing is, a lot of people were like, no, you're supposed to cook the paddle in and everything, but with this machine it actually literally says in the book, if desired, when paddle signal sounds, remove dough and kneading paddle, reshape the dough and replace in the bread pan. So you are able to remove it, and it does like a 15 thing chime in between like rise and bake to let you know that it should be removed, and that is why I have been removing it. But let's get started with the first bread. So for this first bread, I'm gonna remember the paddle. I always forget it. Paddle is in. We are going to be making the herbed dill French bread. I didn't want to do the plain French bread just because I have fresh dill on hand, and oh, it smells amazing. But let's go ahead and add the ingredients in. I'm just going to follow the recipe for the small 1 pound loaf. The book starts out with 1 cup of room temperature water. We've got 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 3/4 teaspoon of salt. That feels like a, oh my god, did it say teaspoon? I did tablespoon. I was gonna say, that feels like a lot. Okay, we'll just do that much salt, and I will use this for dinner later. 2 1/3 and a tablespoon of bread flour. All right. Okay, lovely. Okay, this is 1 1/3. This is 2 1/3 cups. Now let me do my tablespoon. There's the tablespoon. For dill, it says 1 1/2 teaspoons, but it doesn't say if it should be fresh or not. I am going in with fresh. I squished this into a teaspoon and it fits, so we won't dox it points if it's too much or too little dill, just because I couldn't really figure out how to measure that. I'm going to make a little divot and then add in 1 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. 1/4. Everything has been added into the bowl in the right order. Now I am going to put it into the machine. I might try a light crust. I've always set it to medium. I'm doing double experiments, but I want to try to do a light crust to see if maybe it's medium is just over baking it, because I feel like that's what usually happens because the bread ends up being very crumbly. To select the French Italian program. Let me put this in. I'm just going to start it, let it do its thing. Midway through the process, it'll chime a bajillion times, and I will take out the paddle, and then we'll be back once the bread is done. So the bread machine has done its duty. We've got bread. I noticed a few things. Okay, first off, I think because I used fresh dill, it needed more flour. So after it finished its first like mixing cycle, I checked in on it and it was very liquidy. So I ended up adding about like 1/4 cup more of flour. So it definitely is a recipe for dried dill and not fresh dill, which is totally fine. I'm going to acknowledge that that happened. The second thing I noticed, which really annoyed me, is remember how it said set the crust and loaf and then set the Italian bread setting number 2? Well, I did that, right? I followed the instructions. But what I didn't realize, by clicking that French, Italian, whatever, it like undid the crust and loaf size settings. I'm like imagining these settings here. Anyways, because it did that, this actually cooked as if it was a 2 pound loaf and with medium crust, but I ended up taking it out 5 minutes early to kind of accommodate for that because apparently the only difference is an extra 5 minutes. We're gonna just take a look. From the way it's looking out here, she's very pale, very, very pale. So I'm not too worried. I am gonna have to play around with the next bread to see if maybe if I set the menu first and then the loaf and the crust size, if that will actually save the setting. Let's taste the bread. It is still warm, but if anything, I like my bread when it's freshly out of the oven. I'm kind of impatient. It's been like 15 minutes. It should be okay. Let's see. Oh, the other thing I noticed is the dough kept sticking to the sides, so I was worried it wasn't going to come out. Okay, let's see. What? Okay, the crust is very different. I was kind of confused as to how this was going to be any different than the normal white bread because I was like, it's literally the same ingredients. It seems like it cooks it probably at a higher temperature. Oh. Ooh. Okay, the texture is definitely different. I don't know why I chose a butter knife. It has a much, much thicker crust, which now I'm guessing is what makes it Italian or French or whatever. A very fluffy interior. Now, granted, it kind of got mushed a little bit because I cut it before it was fully cool. But even, wait, that is so pretty. It is actually a really good gluten formation. I don't know, I'm making up words. Am I making up words or is that for real? But let's go ahead and taste test it. I think there's not that much dill. Like you can see flecks of dill, but I feel like if I had put more, it would have been better. But here's the taste testing. Oh my God, it's so fluffy. It is literally like those French baguettes that you get from the supermarket. It needs more salt. That's amazing. I know it looks underbaked, but honestly, this is really, really good. There are jets flying above me right now. All right. I think the dill is like a hint of dill. It's not that strong, but I didn't want it to be. So this is like the perfect flavor, perfect texture, perfect everything. I really like the French loaves. I think I might need to start experimenting with the rest of them there, or maybe switch from white bread to the French bread, because this, so good. Anyways, off to the next bread recipe. Ooh, sir, we're doing the next bread. I don't want to put the bread machine on this counter because I need it. I'm gonna put it on the side, but I'll make the bread with you guys. So for this next bread, we are making the lemon poppy seed bread. I think this one's flavors, in theory, are going to be phenomenal. Let's just hope it doesn't end up like the carrot bread because it is from the cake bread section. Start by adding in the ingredients. I'm starting off with non-stick spray. We're starting off with 2/3 cup of buttermilk. Not gonna be great. 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. Apparently the seeds as well. 1, 2, 3. 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. 1 1/3 cup of butter, melted and cooled. Oh, that was, wait, I'm so dumb. I measured it by the stick and then I just remeasured it. 2 large eggs. Ooh. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I do a little bit extra since this is imitation. And for those wondering why I use imitation, it's because non-imitation has alcohol in it and I am Muslim. Next is 1 cup of sugar. Insanity, but following the recipe. 1 1/2 cups of flour. You're telling me there's basically the same amount of flour and sugar. 1 teaspoon of salt, but I'm just going to do a little sprinkling because my butter was salted. 1 teaspoon of poppy seeds. 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Now this is off to the bread machine and I'll be back once the loaf is done. Bread just came out of the oven. Let's taste test. Smells so good. Okay, 2 things. I got stuck in a meeting, so I couldn't actually take the bread thing out. And also, I didn't get to check if I should scrape the sides, and I definitely needed to. But I think we can carve away whatever happened in here. I'll show you in a second. Essentially, it's like burnt, or like it crispied whatever like dough was on the sides that didn't get scraped down, and then the paddle is just sticking there, which is kind of crazy. Let's just flip her out and see what we've got going. Oh, the paddle came off. Whoa, that's a texture. That is like a blur effect on it. This is not bread. What is this? Why is it again like the carrot cake? I've never had the paddle come off. It's like literally baked into it. Okay, freaking heck. Where's this paddle? Feels moist. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Well, let's see how the flavor is, but it smells phenomenal. We're just gonna eat this slice today. This is why I try to take the paddle out, because what do you mean someone's slice is gonna look like this? As for the bread, that is phenomenal. Very lemony, very moist. Like, look at that texture. The outside is crispy. It's lemony. It's very sweet. But if I were to adjust this, I think I would add more lemon, because I like to like feel the burn or like the sourness a little bit from the lemon, and I'm not, but it's still a very good mild taste. This is so good. Again, I don't understand the sizing. Like, am I supposed to double the recipe or something? Like, it feels like half a loaf. Maybe that's just the American in me. Easily a 10 out of 10. I will be making it again because the flavor is amazing. For our last bread, we are going to do one of the whole wheat breads. I kind of want to see how this will work in the machine, if it'll taste good, whatever. We are doing the basic honey whole wheat bread, starting off with 1 cup and a tablespoon of water. Actually, starting off by attaching this, because somehow I always forget. 1 cup and a tablespoon of water. Next is some salt. I am using salted butter, so because of that, I'm just going to put a little bit. It says 3/4 of a teaspoon, but I'm just going to do a sprinkle, and then the salted butter, which is 1.5 tablespoons. It needs to be 1/2-inch pieces. Okay, whatever. To be safe, I'll do it like that. 1 tablespoon of honey. What is interesting to me is there's both bread flour and whole wheat flour in this. Like, it's not solely just the whole wheat flour, and I think it's probably for the gluten addition. So let's add in 3/4 cup of bread flour, 3/4 cup of flour, 1.5 cup of whole wheat flour, and last but not least, the most important ingredient, 2 teaspoons of yeast. 1, 2. I'm gonna go ahead, put it in the machine, set it to the 1-pound loaf at medium darkness, and let it do its thing on the 3rd setting, which is the whole wheat. The other thing I realized is I have been following the recipes, but I kind of want to try to go rogue and see like if adding more yeast or adding certain ingredients to these breads will make them better, because I feel like after day 1 or day 2 of these breads, they go very crunchy and like not the softness I'm used to with American sandwich bread. So let me know your suggestions and things like that, because I would love to test them out. But I'm going to let this run and do its thing, and then I'll be back once it's done. I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't understand how these breads keep flopping, because I see them rising, so the yeast is working, but like, excuse me. Excuse me? What is this? You can see like it rose all the way up to here and then became this. So something, I don't know, the machine is doing some extra kneading, or like it's kneading right before it pushes out, before it bakes the bread. You want to know the difference between the white normal breads and the whole wheat one? It has like a preheating stage at the beginning, and it goes through a bunch of kneading, and on top of that, it's not 2 hours and 52 minutes. It takes 4 hours and 33 minutes to bake a small loaf. Let's cut into it. I did remember to remove the paddle this time, although now I'm thinking I should start removing it earlier, so when it does that like extra kneading, it doesn't impact it. Anyways, that's an experiment for another day. This is a sad loaf. Let's see. Okay, but like, tell me who the heck is making a sandwich with this? This would be like 1/4 of a piece of turkey. Very moist and soft, which I am liking. It definitely has the whole wheat vibe to it. Like, you can see it's like a completely different color, and then it's got the whole wheat on top. I'm gonna go ahead and taste test it. It's bread. It's a whole wheat bread. Honestly, I kind of like that it's this moist. Usually with the white bread, the next day it's kind of a lot more dry and crumbly. This is like holding its shape. It's got a little bit more like jumpiness or bounce to the bread, and I'm liking that. With that, these were 3 more bread recipes. Let me know what other recipes I should try and if I should start to experiment and go outside of the recipe book and see what else I can make in the bread machine.